Hello everybody, Flick here for another Let's Look At, a bit of a special one I think this time. It is Labyrinthine Dreams. This is actually a completed game, however it has a Kickstarter attached to it to expand upon what is already here, and I'll talk a bit more about that at the end. The game itself is described as an emotional, immersive puzzle experience, and I would personally compare it to something like Dear Esther, where you're getting about an hour-long experience in total, give or take, and whereas Dear Esther broke up its plot with exploration, Labyrinthine Dreams breaks it up with different types of puzzle. And another nice thing I really liked about this game, and why I decided to do a video on it, is that it's actually made in RPG Maker. Specifically, it's made in VX8X. VX Ace? Ace, yes, I think Ace. Whatever the newest version is that's on Steam, which I actually have, although I haven't really spent much time with it unfortunately because of time constraints. So I am actually familiar with how you make things in it, because in the 95 version or 98 version I had when I was much younger, I made quite a lot of stuff in it. So I must say I'm impressed with the types of puzzles they've been able to do in this game. But we'll talk a bit more about the puzzles once we get into it. So I will pick new game even though I've already played it through once, and we'll let a little bit of the story play out, and then we'll go straight into the puzzles. So there's obviously no voice acting at present, so I guess I'll read out the text for you because I'm not sure how well this will translate, because I had to kind of force it full screen in order to record it. It is actually meant to be a bit smaller than this in general. So it's odd at a time like this, but I keep thinking of the last conversation I had with my father. For a long time I thought I had figured out what he was trying to tell me, but now I'm not so sure. I guess it doesn't matter at this point. My ship's about to come in, and then I'm finally out of here. I'm not sure where I'll end up, but it has to be an improvement. What's that saying? Life sucks and then you die. Pretty much. I would have said pretty much to that, and she said pretty much. But how did I even get here? Okay, now we actually have control, and I would say the game at present anyway, in this current form, uses a lot of standard assets that you get with VX Ace. It also uses custom scripts, however. The one that's making the leaves appear blowing over the screen is one, believe it or not, I've actually looked into. For the Kickstarter goals, they're actually aiming to hire artists to improve upon basically every aspect of that to make it more of an immersive experience through those means. Essentially keeping the story the same and the puzzles the same, excuse me. But also, I'm not sure if they mentioned this on their Kickstarter page, which will be linked in the box below, but custom scripts created by other people to do this thing with the leaves on the screen. Usually they have a commercial free license where if you're not doing it for any money you can use it and you don't need to credit or anything, or you do have to credit but you don't have to pay them. But if you then start to charge for something which uses a script, you usually have to pay a one-off license fee. So I assume, unless they just did this script very similar to one I've seen before, the Kickstarter money would also need to be used for that. So, I never liked needles. Well, I guess nobody really likes them, but I really hate them. But I've gotten used to them over the last year or so. What fun. So straight from the get-go, it's pretty much hinting here that this lady we're playing as is, if not actually on her deathbed, very, very close to it. What did I say that night? Ugh, this one's got grass in it. A needle with grass in it? And we've got a picture here. It's an old painting of her family cabin. Why is it just sitting out here? And another one up here. If I get really lucky and survive this, then I've got the bills. That should be fun. The forest is cursed. Once you enter, you will be unable to turn left, turn around, or turn on the spot. So this is basically the start of the first puzzle. If you get stuck, press escape or X to go back to the start of the map. Now, I didn't find any of the puzzles too challenging. I mean, trial and error will usually get you through most of them. But you'll see in a second. Daddy, why are you crying? You've grown up so fast, Beth. When did that happen? It must have been while I was at work. You know, when you were born I only had 3 days with you and your mum before I had to go back to work. I hated that, but I felt the job was too important. They always told me that I couldn't take time off because the work I was doing was just too important, although never important enough for a raise. All the times I went in on Christmas Day or your birthday, I was just doing what I thought was responsible. After all, we can't afford for me not to work. But then again, we can barely afford things with me working, just enough to get by. And this is the start of the first puzzle. So as you heard, this forest is cursed, so you can only turn right and you can't turn on the spot or turn left. Now, I have done all these before, so I should technically find them easy, and I'm hoping to kind of speed through to at least show maybe a couple of the different forms of puzzle. I think in total there's 5 types, I want to say 5. and then multiple iterations of them that get harder as you go along. Now, because I'm trying to think about what I'm saying as I'm playing, I do suspect that I may mess up somewhat, but we'll see if I can do this. So I can only walk right. So you've kind of got to manipulate the fact you can take wide circles as long as you're going right, go right, go right. There we go. That was easy enough. And then we'll probably get another bit of story text. But the years just go by, and I wonder why I've put up with this for so long. When we took out life insurance, I realised that I was literally worth more dead than alive. Working this much was supposed to change that, or at least give us more comfort. But it hasn't, not even close, and yet I still go into the office day after day. I thought if I followed the rules, I would be rewarded. I'd reach some plateau where I would have more time and money. I'd be able to enjoy life. Okay, so here we are in another one. How did I do this one? Let me just think for a second. Okay, I think I've got it. Generally, my approach to puzzles in which your movement is restricted is always... the solution almost always involves going the widest possible route that it seems like to get to the exit. So I think I'm doing this right so far. Let me just think again. Let me just go up here. Let me keep thinking. I think I may have gone up at the wrong point. But that's fine because we can just do another circle. I think I may have messed that up. So I could go up here, I could go up there, but then I can't go left. Let me just see here. So if I try and go left, I'm pressing left now, it won't let me do that. So this is the first type of puzzle you'll encounter. There's also a puzzle where you can't see the floor and you've got to discover the safe route across everything. There's one where you're steering a car that has to obey the road markings. There's also probably the hardest and also the weirdest, where you're in a dreamlike state with a monster on the stage with you, and for every one move you make, the monster gets 2 moves toward you, which reminds me a lot of a children's cartoon TV show I remember from when I was younger. But the idea is you get to the exit without letting the monster catch you. So I'm kind of just walking around in circles here because I've totally lost my train of thought about how to do this one. Because you can't go left, so I'm kind of I basically just stuck myself in a square now because I can't move right. I mean I can't move left rather. So that was a mistake, so I will press X and go back to the beginning of the map. Thankfully it just means the beginning of this map. I think I see where I did wrong. Yeah, I do. So we'll go down here, we'll go down here, we'll go down here. Oh no, that would be a left turn actually. I did not want to get stuck so early on. I swear I have done this before, it's just that I've forgotten the correct manner in which to do them. And thinking on your spot while you're also trying to think about what you're saying is rather difficult. I guess that's probably why not many people do playthrough Let's Plays or wherever of this manner of game. I mean, although Blighty and I did do Portal 2 and that requires a lot of thinking on your feet also. I think I was right about going over here, it's just for some reason I can't think to myself how to do this once you're up here. Because you can't move left, so you can only really move up here. You can't move that. And if I moved up one more, I would obviously be stuck. And now I'm pretty much stuck in a cycle if I keep on doing that. There we go. There we go! Almost. Almost. Let me just keep on thinking about this. Down here, round, all the way round, and then let me think about this. Do I want to go down? Because I hate if I made one wrong move I'm going to have to start over again, so let me just think. And if you are actually screaming at the TV monitor, whatever, telling me the correct way in which to do this, then this is most certainly a game for you. Also, please excuse my dog. As per usual, I cannot get through a single damn video without my dog barking. Hooray! That took way longer than it should have. But now it feels like I'm just following these silly rules for no reason, and the and all they do is make things harder. It all seems so arbitrary. So what do I do? My mistake. Hold out until retirement. You'll be living on your own by then. Quit? We can't afford that. Get a new job? I've got no time to look into it while I'm working, and it's too risky for me to leave. And my dog really doesn't like this text for some reason. Please excuse her. Ah, dear. So actually, this is an easy one to get started with anyway. So the exit is actually directly to my left right now, but obviously it's taunting you in this case of you can't go left because of arbitrary reasons in order to create a puzzle. But this is actually a fairly easy one, I believe. So I just want to keep on... Basically, you just want to keep on taking large cycles around the objects in order to let you progress where you want to be. I don't want to accidentally... Okay, yep, do another large circle and then that's it. And another little circle, and there we go. That was so much easier than the last one. My brain was just in the wrong place for that second puzzle. I used to dream of vacations we would take to different parts of the world, or even just to the family cabin. We would play outside while I would paint. God, I haven't painted in so long. I bet I'm rusty. And then we have yet another puzzle, and we'll just start doing wide circles again until I work out how to do this. I think this is probably the final hedge puzzle, and then it'll move on to something else, hopefully, because I want to show off more than one type of puzzle. Although I think I made a mistake there. Can I correct myself? I think I can. Where am I wanting to go? I'm still wanting to go to the right a bit, to the left a bit more, but obviously I can't yet. Let me just think about this. Go like that, go like that, go like that. No, that's going to make me go back down here. That's not what I want. Okay, hang on. Yeah, I see. Up here. I'm almost getting back into the mojo of how you do these damn puzzles. Now let me think about this. You have to make sure you keep on going wider and wider, because otherwise you stick in the... Oh no, I didn't do that right. Go down here. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why that second puzzle was my Everest, but there we go. So. No more flavour. Oh yeah, I failed you, Beth. I thought I was doing what was best, but you're growing up without me. No, but you growing up without me isn't what's best. Not for you or for me. So why am I crying? Because there's never enough time for what's really important. Ain't that the truth? And we're actually out of the first puzzle. That was, what was that, 4 or 5 rooms? Either way, that's all the forest puzzles in the game. And I must say, all the sprites here and within the cabin as well, they all are ones which come with RPG Maker. I mean, I've used them in some little test things I've made as well for the most part. So these are possibly the kind of things that would be upgraded if they meet their funding in the Kickstarter, and their goal isn't just to kickstart getting more art and assets in the game to make it more appealing visually. It's also so then they can release sorry, I should have read that out instead of just pressing it, my mistake. They also want to release it as a pay-for experience once they have improved it to the state where they think it's justifiable. Although I would say it's in the state it is now, it is perfectly enjoyable as an hour-long experience. I wouldn't want it to be an overly expensive game because I don't think it's worth that. I would compare it to Dear Esther in terms of pricing, possibly maybe a bit less for those of you who aren't as big fans of sprite art as you may see here. There's nothing here anymore. No, there is not. Dad didn't make it through the night. His car had gone right over a ledge. It was an accident, supposedly. Maybe I wouldn't have taken it so hard if I knew I'd be joining him so soon. And this is the first dreamlike world, which is the harder puzzles in my opinion. You again. You come in here uninvited and tear the whole place up. Who do you think you are? All this time I've spent trying to stay ahead of you, but no matter what, you always get one step closer. How can I keep this up? So, here's the rules. To escape the monster, you need to make it to the light tile. For every one move you make, the monster will make 2 if it can. It can only move closer to you and will never move to a tile that is further from you than it already is. If it can move horizontally, it will. If not, it will move vertically. Try to lead it into dead ends so you can outmaneuver it and make it to the light tile. So first of all, I'll show you how things go wrong. So I move one right, it moves one right. But then I'll move one right and it will get 2 moves because it can move closer. And then there's obviously no way for me to get out of it, so it will catch me. So you kind of, again, you have to do the hedge mentality. You have to go down here, and then it's not moving because it's vertical with me. So then I go this way, however, and it'll move. And then because it always has to come closer to me, I've now given myself a little buffer, and then I go all the way right, and until I'm past the square he's currently in line with me horizontally, he won't actually try and come and get me. So I just move up 1, he'll start moving, but I make it. Now that was obviously, or both of these are going to be very simple iterations of the type of puzzle. I think I may have went to the right too soon there. No, I got it. Here we are. They do get very hard. I found the final 2 of these types very difficult to do. I think that's the only time I was stumped for a genuinely long amount of time. So we'll do one last bit of flavour text. I think I'll show off the start of the next puzzle, and then that's all I'm going to give away, because I'd rather you play it for yourself. This version I'm playing now, the version that is totally complete without the additional assets they want to find funding for, is available via the Kickstarter page as well. You don't need RPG Maker to make it either. It's a separate executable. It's just, it was made in it. So there's this chunk of years after Dad died and before I left home. There is just one big blur of frustration. Kids made fun of me in school for having a dead father. That is harsh. I wish I'd stood up for myself instead of just letting them pile on. Looking back, I should have gone in there on the first day of middle school and hit someone with a chair. I don't condone that. Then everyone would have left me alone. Sounds like jail, but then again, the 2 institutions have a lot in common. But one day, a teacher pulled me aside. She really did try to connect with me, and at some point she asked what I wanted to do with my life. Without thinking, I blurted out, paint. That didn't go over so well at home. You know what, I can relate to this. I did art in school, and I kind of got discouraged to do it because there's no money in it. Looking back, I was too hard on her. I felt like she hated the artistic part of me, but that wasn't it. She was just concerned that it wouldn't bring in the big bucks. Yeah, I know that feeling. She wanted me to go into a career that would guarantee success, but I had seen what going after that guarantee had done to my father. It was clear we would never see eye to eye. Eventually I left for the city to start college. I had gotten used to tuning her out, but she said one thing that haunted me. Beth, your father was a loving man, but he was also disturbed, deeply disturbed. He was overwhelmed and he gave up. Whatever fate holds for you, please don't ever give up. And now we're going to go into the third type of puzzle. Travel along the roads from start to finish. At each intersection you can only turn in the directions where there is a curved arrow. It is the same with the straight arrows. U-turns are not possible. You can hide the car by pressing the X button. And you may have... I'm not sure if that'll get picked up by Skype or not, but because of the way I'm having to run the game to record it, I've got a giant Skype message flashing in my bottom right corner. I hope it didn't appear, but if it did, you saw my friend saying that his cat says hello, so you know, that's worthwhile. So this was Labyrinthine Dreams. You can play this version from start to finish for free at the Kickstarter link below. They are only looking for funds to improve upon the game in every way possible from an artistic standpoint to make it more immersive and generally better. I enjoyed what's here. I found the story interesting. I kind of got the gist of it early on and just then enjoyed it as from a puzzler perspective. And if you're interested, go check out the Kickstarter. Thank you for checking out this Let's Look At. Ta-ta for now.